We have the opportunity to get them invested in St. Louis.
Are we preaching to the choir? Probably, but you got to start with the choir.
In St. Louis and nowhere else, trick or treaters tell jokes on Halloween.
Today on Spotlight, it's a St. Louis thing. We'll explore telling jokes on Halloween. Plus, inside the Foundry's latest exhibit about photography. And then why you'll see masks around town on statues and sculptures. But first, meet the woman bringing startups to St. Louis. It's Sunday and you're watching Spotlight. Arch Grants, a St. Louis-based venture philanthropy nonprofit, works to support promising startups and enhance the local business community. They offer a $50,000 equity-free grant and priceless support services in exchange for requiring the companies to relocate to St. Louis. Since 2012, the Global Accelerator has granted over $8.2 million to more than 150 startups.
It's Arch Grants, baby!
Arch Grants Executive Director Emily Loza Bush sat down with us in 2017, her first year on the job, to talk about the role of Arch Grants in the St. Louis economy and how our startup economy is putting St. Louis back on the map.
The way that we ignite ingenuity and innovation in St. Louis is through our global startup competition. And that's a competition where we take applicants from around the country, around the world, and have them submit business plans, submit a whole bunch of material, do several levels of vetting to get to a class of between 15 and 20 companies that we feel have viability, have scalability, and then I would say most importantly are a good fit in St. Louis. And what I mean by that is, as a nonprofit, our mission, our goal is to grow the new economy or grow economic development in the St. Louis region. And so what we're looking to do as we think about our companies is, does it make sense for them to be here?
Right. You're not looking to give money and mentoring and then have them run off to another city.
Exactly. And so the thought is that we give this $50,000 equity-free grant. And then what I've heard more and more, though, as time has gone on, is that the money, the capital, is really important. It allows a lot of the companies to either, if it's move here, to make a hire that they hadn't been able to make before, those types of things. But that the real value that our companies see in an Arch grant is the follow-on, the connections we're able to make after the fact. We offer, in addition to that $50,000, they receive pro bono or highly discounted legal services, accounting services, marketing services, those types of things. And then they also are entered into this cohort of the other recipients that have won their year. And it's just 18 entrepreneurs or 19 entrepreneurs that are building their businesses here. Once our entrepreneurs are here, they're here for 12 months, hopefully longer, but they're required to be here for at least a year as part of their contract. We see that as kind of the starting point where we have the opportunity to get them invested in St. Louis, in the St. Louis community, in the St. Louis ecosystem, in the St. Louis if they're interested in this, the funding community here. And so it's important that our relationships with all of our partner organizations are strong and that they understand where we're going, I understand where they're going, so we can make those connections very seamlessly. A lot of my time is spent just finding out what's happening on everybody's plate and then doing a lot of connections. We're a privately funded organization. We're a nonprofit, 501c3. So it's very important to us that the community continue to see the value in what we're doing and invest in us, both in terms of their time, but also monetarily. And the community has been incredibly generous.
How would the average St. Louisan be a part of the success here, join in and help out?
I mean, there's a lot of ways to get involved. Reaching out to get involved as a judge, as a volunteer. If you'd like to get involved with our companies in some way, just let us know what your interest is. And then, of course, coming to our gala, which is every year in November, which is a celebration of entrepreneurship in St. Louis. And I think it's so rare to get the amount of people excited to come to a gala right now in this day and age where there's a lot of things going on and a lot of organizations are moving away from that. But to see the energy, there's something special about that. And there's something magical about the fact that we announce our cohort at the gala.
Do you feel that's one of the important parts of Arch Grants, is to be a spark plug for innovation in here?
St. Louis has been on a national spotlight many times in the last year or so as one of the top places to start a business, one of the top places for millennials to live. We've got some of that magic happening that when you see a community of innovators, affordable cost of living, a downtown that has, as many people have put it to me, and the amount of beautiful, old, original architecture that we have in this downtown, other cities would kill for. And you take those things and then you put them together and have organizations like Arch Grants and others in this ecosystem to help leverage those and make those connections, then you have the ability to create something really exciting.
To see the full interview, head to hecmedia.org. And watch the 2020 Arch Grants Virtual Gala Wednesday, October 28th at 8 p.m. on hecmedia.org, where the new cohort of startups will be announced.
HEC Media presents Talking with Authors, the podcast. Your favorite writers and genres, with diverse subjects and styles, with new podcasts dropping bi-weekly. Subscribe to Talking with Authors, wherever you get your podcasts.
Pizza and joke practice. That's the setup for this part of the evening.
What's a witch put in her hair?
I don't know what.
Scare spray.
Did you get that? What does a witch
What are
put
your
in her
jokes?
hair? Scare spray?
What big hairy animal plays soccer?
What big hairy animal plays soccer? I don't know what.
A gorilla.
A gorilla. Get it? Some jokes
What
are
is it?
better than others.
Not.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
Why are you crying?
But the jokes don't have to be that good, because it's finally time.
Let's go.
Yep, it's trick-or-treating time, candy time, joke time. In St. Louis, and nowhere else, no place, just here, only here, trick-or-treaters tell jokes on Halloween.
What's a witch put in her hair? I don't know what. Scare spray. I love it. That's silly.
City, county, east side, west side, north, south, I can say with some semi-professional journalistic confidence that this Halloween night joke extravaganza is a genuine, exclusive St. Louis thing that's gone on for generations.
What's that?
Scare spray.
Oh, that's a good one.
Every Halloween around here, we insist on turning every trick-or-treater into an aspiring henny young man or henny young woman.
Not.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
Why are you crying?
Okay, this whole thing, the whole joke thing, it's cute, but it's wrong. It's just wrong. Halloween isn't about jokes, it's about extortion. Trick or treat. You give me a treat, or I'll play a trick on you. I'll play a prank on you. I will do something terrible. The joke thing, it's just wrong. Now this flashlight thing, that's always scary, isn't it? Boo.
Trick or treat is a statement of implied threat. It's not joke, then treat.
What big furry animal likes to play soccer?
I don't know. What one?
A gorilla.
Gorilla. There you go. Good.
Telling a joke is violation of the joy of Halloween extortion. Making a kid tell a joke is like wishing someone happy birthday right before you say, this is a stick-up.
Knock, knock, who's there? Boo-hoo.
Okay, some kids don't need to extort or tell jokes. They can just be cute.
Can we have some treats?
Absolutely.
But maybe some kids should just stay away from the comedy for a while.
Knock, knock, is the door? Knock, knock, is the doorbell ringing?
Comedy is hard, isn't it, guys?
Knock, knock, is the doorbell ringing?
Okay, even I'll
Comedy
admit
is hard.
that is adorable. But why do we make kids tell jokes on Halloween other than we've always done it, huh? And that's usually enough reason around here. Why?
All right, I have no kids with me. Why did you make those kids tell a joke?
Because they have to earn their treat. I don't like giving just
They
something
would
for
earn
nothing.
their treat by not playing a trick on you. That's the way it's supposed to be.
No.
Trick or treat. Not amusing anecdote or treat. Not comic interlude, then treat.
What's a ghost's favorite food?
What?
Blueberry.
And come on, I realize passing out candy takes concentration, but if you're gonna make a kid tell a joke, listen to the joke.
A gorilla. Good one. A gorilla. A gorilla.
telling a joke to get a treat on Halloween. It's crazy. It's not right. It's backwards. Maybe it should be treat or trick. That's a much clearer threat.
Can we tell you a joke?
Yeah, tell me a joke.
What's a witch put in her hair? Scare spray.
What?
Scare spray.
Scare spray.
Scare spray. I like it. I like it.
Well, I sigh. Thanks for the editorial rant. But this whole joke thing, it's nuts. It's not right. It's
Scare spray. Good one. Happy Halloween.
It's a St. Louis thing.
Follow HEC Media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We're here at the Foundry Arts Center where we're looking at the show Focal Point. Here we have featured over 50 artists from all over the world pushing photography to its limits. We decided to put on a photography show because we knew, especially in this digital age, photography is so fast-paced and ever-evolving. So one of the things that we wanted to showcase in this exhibition is the fact that it's not just a simple landscape. It's watercolor on top of a landscape. It's not just a simple low exposure. It's multiple layers of exposure on top of a single image. So trying to showcase that photography is not just recording the is and now, that it can be actually expanded into all different forms of art making and frankly go beyond just record keeping. So photography has been around roughly for 200 years, and in that time it has expanded and evolved in many ways that nobody could have predicted. For example, just having one constantly in our pockets has allowed us all in our own ways to become photographers, but the way that we all each individually approach photography has of course changed drastically. So we showcase a lot of artists here that are now using digital photography to implement multiple images in Photoshop and Illustrator on top of a single image. A lot of the portraits and landscapes that we see have been distorted or shaken up in some sort of way. There's several works in here that are actually time-based, where the pieces will actually morph from the beginning of the show to the end of the show due to exposure of light. There's multiple ways that we have now transcended just a simple still life recording on film. So in addition to Focal Point being in our main gallery, we also in our Gallery 3 area have a Celebrating 100 Years at the Foundry exhibition going on. Our building, we've understood from photo evidence, has secured itself somewhere being built between 1919 and 1921. So this is technically our centennial year. So we have put on an exhibition showcasing documented images of the building being built, of the building before it was an actual building. There's maps and everything like that for people to look through and notice Main Street and other things historically that have gone on around this building. The Foundry Art Center is really proud to be a part of ACF's history, and especially the history of Main Street in Old Town St. Charles. And we really thought that it was important to showcase that heritage and to show people how history has evolved all of us, including the building itself, over the years. Focal Point and Celebrating 100 Years at the Foundry will be on display from October 2nd to November 13th, and you can find out more information at foundryartcenter.org, and you can find out more history about our building under foundryartcenter.org/ourhistory.
HEC celebrates St. Louis like no other media outlet, highlighting those making a difference through science and technology.
It's a wonderful community of young entrepreneurs who are all doing very amazing things.
Focusing on arts and education.
Poverty is not going to stop a student from getting a quality education. We can't let that happen.
Broadcasting meetings and functions to educate and inform our community.
St. Louis feels like a city on the road to extraordinary things.
Producing compelling documentaries celebrating our region.
Henry Shaw founded the Missouri Botanical Garden, one of the first of its kind in the country and one of the best of its kind in the world.
Visit hecmedia.org for up-to-date, locally produced stories about the people and organizations who make St. Louis great.
Medical students are making home deliveries to COVID-19 patients. The students from Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis deliver new technology for a clinical trial they designed and are now carrying out.
We do all of the wireless network setup from right outside your home from the safety of our vehicles, and you can set up the device from the safety of your home.
This will fit into the mount.
Patients attach the device to their bedroom wall, as team members demonstrate. This allows for remote monitoring of COVID-19 patients' movements, sleep patterns, and breathing using wireless signals. It's all done while they are quarantined at home.
It's going to detect their chest wall motion, so it helps detect their breathing and changes in their breathing. It helps detect movement.
Fourth-year medical student Damian Abreu is project manager for this clinical trial, working closely with team lead Lena Dang, a fourth-year medical student. The technology is called Emerald, a touchless sensor and machine learning platform for health analytics. Emerald is based on award-winning wireless and machine learning research from MIT.
Using a wireless device to monitor physiologic signal of the patient, and then use AI technology to learn their illness trajectory.
You can't tell just by looking at me whether or not I'm breathing. It's shooting out constantly these little radio waves that are then bouncing off all the surroundings, bouncing off of my chest wall and arriving to the device in different ways. The algorithms that they're using to interpret the data and analyze the data configure that into an interpretation of changes in motion.
Because Emerald has applications for various diseases, the technology was already at Washington University. It was used in a different clinical trial at the Center for the Study of Itch. Dr. Brian Kim is principal investigator, but when the pandemic hit, the lab pivoted.
So we thought maybe we could now, instead of studying itch, use this in patients who are experiencing COVID. Can we start to now detect subtle cues about their breathing, their movement, that would predict an adverse outcome? And can we understand more about the disease?
Having a clinical trial designed and executed by medical students, how unique is that?
It's very unique. I already have a lot that I need to do. I have to keep my lab going. And I thought one way I could potentially do this is get the students involved. What I was hoping is that for these students, it was a learning opportunity for them to learn as they go. And in doing so, that they would know, what is it like to design a trial? What is it like to deal with devices, collaborate across the country?
The data is getting wirelessly transferred to our collaborators at MIT, who have the sort of technical infrastructure to go ahead and process the data and analyze it. And so all of that is happening in real time.
The medical students in St. Louis also analyze the data and call the patients daily.
What's very unique about this study is the fact that we're collecting both clinical information and also motion information at the same time. WashU medical students are doing sort of active over-the-phone monitoring of patients for their symptoms and their symptom progression, as well as certain vital signs that are of particular interest, say temperature and respiratory rate, for example.
Machine learning is crucial. The more it learns the COVID-19 illness from even the smallest of movements related to disease progression, the better Emerald becomes at diagnostics.
That might serve as an indicator for a patient to get to the hospital soon because perhaps they are not headed in the right direction.
The Arts and Faith concert goes virtual later on Spotlight.
They're all throughout the region. There's a lot downtown, and it's throughout the county. You can also find them in Chesterfield, you can find them in Kirkwood, you can find them Wildwood.
The St. Louis Arts Chamber of Commerce partnered with local artists and came up with a unique way to inform residents about the importance of wearing a mask while in public during this fall flu season.
As a service to the arts community and to the membership of the St. Louis Arts Chamber, we help facilitate the organization of this project to secure masks, to secure artists volunteer their time to put masks together, securing all the locations to go out and put up over 150 masks across many different organizations, municipalities, and areas in the greater St. Louis region.
I saw and read about the effort that the St. Louis Arts Chamber was doing in downtown St. Louis. And when I saw it, I said, Clayton has to be part of this.
We're here today putting a mask on one of our former heroes of the St. Louis Fire Department. This is Fire Prevention Awareness Month, but also it's mask wearing month. So we're trying to remind everybody with just simple reminders, simple visual reminders, wear your mask. It's the easiest thing to do.
The goal of this project is to bring attention to the abundant sculptures in the St. Louis region. and to keep the conversation going about the importance of keeping everyone safe during the pandemic.
Art and sculptures are in everyone's daily lives as they're going to work or passing, or visitors are coming into town, reminding people to wear a mask and to stay safe and stay socially distanced.
The Chamber has partnered with over 30 different organizations and participants, including the STL Mask Project, created by local students from the Du High.
It's a project that we sell masks, and all proceeds will lead to Operation Food Search, and we have raised about $13,000, and with additional $9,000 worth of masks. So we have given them to the St. Louis Public Schools and to Operation Food Search.
The STL Mask Project has also put together a challenge across the state. That challenge, Mask Dance Dynamite, involves a little creativity while wearing your mask.
You get a particular song, you dance to that song for about 30 seconds or more. You can do any type of activity. You know, everyone in this community, everywhere right now, everyone is stuck at home. As a kid, I understand. What I hope, since we have donated all the proceeds, and I want this dance challenge to move across all the schools.
STL Mask Project wants people to understand the importance of wearing a mask while also trying to have fun.
We thought it was a really worthy endeavor anytime we can encourage particularly high school kids or school-age kids to wear a mask by whatever means we can engage them. We felt was really, really important.
Dance challenges, statues, and local organizations are really trying to keep people safe during this flu season.
The hope is, A, make sure people are wearing masks and making sure that we are staying socially distanced and helping reduce the pandemic of COVID-19. But B, also to bring awareness to all the great art that's in the St. Louis region. You know, the vision of the St. Louis Arts Chamber is to establish St. Louis as an arts destination in the United States. So bringing awareness to all the great pieces of art, all the great organizations that will collaborate to bring art and artistic opportunities to both the residents and the visitors of the St. Louis region.
Visit stlartschamber.org. There, you can find a map with the pins on all the locations where a sculpture has been masked by the organization. Also, don't be afraid to bust a move and take part in the Mask Dance Dynamite Challenge with the hashtag MaskedDanceDynamite.
You can find the stories featured in today's show along with past episodes and more at hecmedia.org/spotlight.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high.
As soprano Christine Brewer sang When You Walk Through a Storm at last year's annual Interfaith concert at the Sheldon, no one could have imagined just how big a storm was brewing.
I just will have to pretend that they're here, in person.
Because of COVID-19, this year's Arts and Faith St. Louis Interfaith concert will be virtual.
Oh gosh, it's going to be strange. Maybe we could put some cardboard cutouts like they do at the baseball games,
The first Interfaith concert was in 2011, staged to mark the 10th anniversary of 9/11. But it was a different act of terrorism that indirectly gave birth to the concert series. In 2011, Opera Theater of St. Louis was preparing to stage The Death of Klinghoffer, a controversial opera about a Jewish American tourist killed by hijackers from the Palestine Liberation Organization. But Opera Theater's then General Director Tim O'Leary, working with the Jewish Community Relations Council of St. Louis, saw it as an opportunity to engage other local faith leaders in a dialogue about the opera's provocative content. Eventually, those discussions led to the creation of Arts and Faith St. Louis, which produces the annual Interfaith concert.
We have expanded, just not 9/11. That was like just what you call a springboard. It is like all the issues which face and where we can connect each other, where our faith brings us together, where our faith dictates us how to deal with other human being, even if he or she is not of your faith. So all those issues are, I think, part of this idea.
Representatives from a wide range of faith communities will perform at the concert. The theme this year is Songs of Compassion. The concert will be held at 4 p.m. on Sunday, October 25th, and it will be live streamed by HEC TV.
We are so grateful to be able to switch to HEC TV so quickly and have the opportunity to have a partner that allows us to bring this concert to people who otherwise wouldn't be here.
Oh yes, it's ladies' night.
Among the headliners are jazz vocalist Anita Jackson and Christine Brewer. Many of the other performers, as always, will be young people.
You watch the kids together, and they're all interacting with no problems. And something happens, you know, to some adults. And it just really breaks my heart.
Brewer has sung at 9 of the 10 interfaith concerts. Her grandson Oscar has been coming since he was a toddler. But this year's concert has extra meaning for both of them because it includes a tribute to healthcare workers.
Our daughter is a nurse at Barnes. I love this idea of celebrating the people who are really putting their lives on the line. So I'm very honored to be a part of it this year.
Arts and Faith St. Louis realizes the people most likely to watch the concert are the people least likely to need reminding of its messages. Still, they see the event as more than just choirs preaching to the choir.
I would say we are motivating the choir to talk to their friends and family members who might not be as committed to interfaith work as they are. So yes, are we preaching to the choir? Probably, but you got to start with the choir because otherwise it's hard to move outside of whatever house of worship we're talking about that choir singing in.
Even if you are not biased, you might just be in your own world and you never get out. When you come and see, then I think actually enhances your internal thoughts too, that okay, we are more equal than we are different.
We have to find a way to move forward, and faith provides us a way to do that. So if we are collectively talking with one another about our faith, then I think we're talking about ways to begin to remember that, you know, we're all taught we are children of God. And we need to recognize one another as that. And when we get to that point, I think we begin to treat one another differently and things have to get better.
Watch the 2020 Arts and Faith Concert streaming live today at 4 p.m. on hecmedia.org. Next week, how a group is using dancing to inspire people to get out and vote. Plus, a documentary about the founders of the oldest and largest school system in Missouri. Thanks for watching Spotlight. Join us next Sunday at 9:30 a.m. on KPLR 11.